All right, folks, we have two guests here. I'll let them introduce themselves. They want to talk about what they saw at COP15 and what it means for DC youth. All right.
I'm Carrie Fulton. I'm the National Youth Campaign Coordinator for the Environmental Justice and Climate Change Initiative. I also run a website focused on young people of color in the environmental sector called checktheweather.net. That's checktheweather.net. And basically what this means for DC youth is it means that us as young people here in the nation's capital, it's really time for our voices to be heard so that the other community members in other places around the world can be saved. And it sounds a little crazy, but it's actually that serious. And so when we think about the environmental impacts within our own community, whether it's the fact that the lack of grocery stores in certain neighborhoods, the access to being able to get into green jobs training programs, getting able to know about what environmental impacts are happening in your community, dealing with lead in our water, are all directly connected to a larger aspect of what's happening around the world. Leslie, I'm sure, can break down the science for you. She's a lawyer, so she's like got all the credentials to make it happen. All I'm saying is your struggles right here are very similar to the struggles of other people around the world, and get mobilized, get active, and even more importantly, get involved in DC voting rights and learning more about that, because if we don't have voting rights, then it's hard for us to speak up for what we need.
All right.
I'm Leslie Fields. I'm the National Environmental Justice and Community Partnerships Director of the Sierra Club here in DC. And the COP15 in Copenhagen was very important for everyone, but particularly DC youth, because the youth are really, as many people always say, the future. But this is the issue for your generation. It is going to be up to the young people to solve this issue. It's going to be up to the young people to take advantage of the great opportunities that will afford you in terms of entrepreneurial projects, in terms of new curricula, new courses in school that you're going to have that you haven't even thought of yet, in terms of new job opportunities, to really pay attention, read the paper, meet professionals, get out there and find out what the future is going to hold for you. It's not going to be what it was last year. And there are young people from all over the world who got to go to Copenhagen and are trying to find out the same information. And it's so much easier now to be able to connect with people because of the internet, because of YouTube, because of Facebook. Use those opportunities to understand what's going on in your world, to ask critical questions, to be critical about what are these policies, why are things the way they are, why don't we have this program in my neighborhood, why don't we have a supermarket in my neighborhood, why does my mom have to go on the bus, 2 or 3 buses to get what we need. These are very important questions that all young people are asking around the world, and it's exacerbated. They almost call it the threat multiplier to climate change. If your health is impacted, if you have a respiratory problem, or someone in your family, a younger brother and sister, it's all being changed. You notice it's gotten hotter, the weather's gotten crazier, crazy winters, hotter summers, and it's not a fluke, it's happening, and you can do something about it. Anything you can do, whether you are in graphics, whether you're interested in health, you're interested in policy, you're interested in teaching, you can get involved in this issue. So it's very important for young people here. Any way you want to, you can get involved.
Yeah, and it's a great opportunity to take advantage of living in the mind of the beast. When I was in Copenhagen and I was telling people, I'm a young leader, I live in Washington, D.C., they say, oh, you live in the belly of the beast. You live in the belly of everything that's happening all the world, politics, people from all over the world, anybody who's of importance somehow has to come to D.C. to handle some business. This is the mind, this is where decisions are being made for the rest of the world. The rest of the world is waiting for the United States to take a lead.
Right.
You have the opportunity to live in the same vicinity as those decision makers. You get the opportunity to go to a Starbucks across the street from the White House and randomly run into someone who is making the decisions for your future. Take advantage of it. Just think about it.
We need you to lead so our country can lead.
All right. Thank you, folks.